currently. Hastings 2-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference, 3rd overall. Both teams have played Tartan and Matamidi. They've beat them both. Hastings is coming off a 2-game losing skid to Two Rivers and Rosemount. North St. Paul just lost to Delano 3-2. Here we got your conference standings right there. You can see Hastings in 3rd, North St. Paul 2nd. Hill Murray sitting there at the top at 3-0. Mentioned the losing streaks for both squads. The history for these two squads, North St. Paul has won the last 5 matches. Last time Hastings has won was on April 6, 2022. And last year, of course, North St. Paul swept the Raiders. Last time they played here was a 10-5 score in favor of North St. Paul. Last season, the Raiders ended up losing in the first round of the 4A Section 3. North St. Paul had a very good run. They made it all the way to the Section 4 elimination bracket where they lost to Woodbury 7-5. Just spoke to a couple of their coaches, though, Mr. Tommy Thole and Mr. Charlie Rambo. They had one of their lead pitchers tore her ACL, so had to leave the season earlier. Otherwise, they might have went the whole way. Owen, what do you want to say about this Hastings team or North St. Paul or stats or something before we get going here?
Yeah, it's just two teams that started out hot. I mean, Hastings, they won their first 2. They outscored their opponents 25-2. Now they've been outscored 10-6 in their last 2. And like you said, North St. Paul started off with a 3-0 start, and then they lost to a good Delano team. So I think you're right about the litmus tests kind of matching each other. It'll be a real litmus test to see when they play Hill Murray how that goes. But tonight could be the night they break that 5-game streak.
We're getting ready here to go. It's Haley Strain on the mound for the Raiders, one of the best ever to play for the Raider squad. Leading off is the 3rd baseman, Anna Mischler. Terrace pitch high, ball 1. Want to let you know our umpires tonight is Mr. Jerry Johnson behind home plate and Mr. Tom Knobloch doing the bases. No relation to the former Chuck Knobloch, former Minnesota Twinkie.
I was going to say, that's quite the last name to have here in Minnesota.
There's a nice fast pitch in there for strike 1. Haley, left-handed pitcher, tall, number 18. Owen, I'm sure you're going to tell me about her. She's a triathlete. She plays volleyball, basketball, and softball. One of the best in all those categories throughout the Hastings history.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's no surprise, too, that when you excel, especially at the high school level at one sport, you excel at the others. And, I mean, she's just consistently the best player on any team that she plays for Hastings. Obviously, one heck of a basketball player as well.
Count 2 ball, 1 strike. There's a changeup, ground ball, second base, bobbled, fielded, picked up, and thrown to 1 for the 4-3 putout. That was Notch to Raider. If you're keeping score at home, 4-3, 1 out. Next up, left-handed hitting, number 4, Leah Burney. She plays center field. See what the Raiders do with the adjustments. A lot of players like to slap from that left-handed box, maybe lay a bunt down. There's the bunt right there. I spoke of a beautiful one. It was probably going to go foul. It's fielded, and she beats it out. It's an infield hit for Burney. Oh, and I don't know if you saw that ball spinning, but when it was that good, I'd almost back up and let it go foul because I don't think she was going to throw her out.
Yeah, I mean, she was really close with the throw, but you're right. We'll take a look at the replay here. That was a perfectly placed bunt, and you're right. I mean, that's always the dilemma. Do you just let it? I mean, it sure looked like it was going to roll out into foul territory.
Next up for North St. Paul, Quinn Kirchhoff playing second base, number 15. Bats right-handed. Look out, foul ball. We saw plenty of times last year, balls flying into the dugout. So you are not safe anywhere over there. I would steer clear of that open gate.
These are live fields. I mean, we saw a photographer get hit with a lacrosse ball on Thursday. So you really gotta pay attention on these fields.
Absolutely. Hopefully that lacrosse player. There's another foul ball. She almost puts it in the other side of the dugout. So she's down 0-2. She's 0-2 on trying to hit her teammates there in the dugout. She's way behind though, Owen. So she's gonna have to speed up that bat.
Well, she's painting the corners on foul balls. That's for certain.
Let's see what Haley does here in the 0-2 count. She's swinging a miss. Strike 3 for out number 1.
Yeah, just a great little duel there for Haley Strain, battling through, making some contact there.
Bat and cleanup. It's number 20, the pitcher, Madeline Anthony. Anthony also a right-handed hitter. First pitch low. Oh, it gets by the catcher. That's going to be a wild pitch. And Burnley will advance to second. on the WP. Say that was a little too. Two balls, one strike. Oh, this time she swings that one high up in the eyes. Count is even 2-2. Hastings wearing the both teams wearing the blackout. Oh, and I don't blame them because even though the sun's out, it is chilly out here. It's windy. It's always windy up here because we're at that high point of the Hastings area. Speaking of high point, Haley hit the high point of that zone even though it was up and out. Count is now full.
Yeah, well, baseball is really the one sport where it doesn't matter too much what the uniform colors, how they match.
No, it definitely doesn't matter how they match. There it is, ground ball, second base, fielded by Notch, throws the Raider, and out number 3. Gonna have to see the official score on that first one. I feel like I'm gonna give her a hit. I think she might have beat it out even if it wasn't fielded clean. I'll have to, actually I think I'm the official scorekeeper possibly, I don't really know, but
I think it's on you.
I think I'm gonna give it 1 hit, 1 player left on base, no runs, no errors, and we'll head to the bottom of the first with the Hastings Raiders coming up to bat.
And what a great half inning there for Rachel Notch. Obviously bobbles that hard ground ball to start the game, but 2 putouts and fielded that second one a lot cleaner. I think maybe that woke her up a little bit.
Yeah, quite possibly. It is good, especially when it's chilly out. First inning, first real big home game. I must mention, it is youth night. Earlier before the game, a great scene, a youth player with a varsity player, if you will. They come out there, they get their parents announced. That's so good to see. Future Raiders, future softball players get a little feel of what it's like to be at a varsity game.
So invaluable because, as long as sometimes these players' careers seem, there's always the next generation and the generation after that. So it's always good to see them fostering, future varsity players.
We saw Madeline Anthony bat in the first inning. She's now on the mound. She's a right-handed thrower. She is the player I was telling you about that Coach Tommy Thole told me she tore her ACL last year. She is a very good pitcher. Raiders are going to have quite the challenge ahead of them here.
There's no question, and this is the biggest stat that comes off to me when I was looking at it before the game. This team, 4 games played, 4 quality starts, 3 of them by Anthony. So this is a team that is very defensively and pitching sound, and obviously batting over 400, so this team can really do it all in the early goings.
Speaking of batting, for the Raiders leading off, it's the catcher, number 10, Sienna McCoy. McCoy last year batted .457, takes that first pitch high for a strike. Unfortunately, I did not see any stats on the hub, if you will, for the Raiders. So if you're listening to me and you like stats and numbers, feel free to keep the stats and talk to the coach maybe and add those stats in there. There's a bunt offering, pulls back, high ball 1. I believe they would take anybody to assist and just type in the stats, and somewhere, I don't know the official process of how you become legally doing that, but reach out to maybe Trent Hansen. He could probably lead you there. There's a high pop-up, shallow center. It's actually second base. It's going to make the catch. That's Kirchhoff for the first out, the F4 in the book.
Yeah, and even though it's cold, but even though it's a beautiful sunny day, the way the sun is positioned, it's not really going to be much of a factor for anybody out in the field here. So I wouldn't expect any passed balls getting lost in the sun here this afternoon.
Next up for the Raiders, number 14, shortstop Leighton Robinson. She takes first pitch high, ball 1. Robinson looks down to third base coach. Could be the head coach, Becca Carlson. I can't see. We might get a shot later on. There is a foul ball right down the first base side. First base coach, a nice foot stop. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a... There's a ground ball in between first, second. That's going to find its way into right field. And you got to hustle to first, though. And she's safe. A lot of times, Owen, just because you hit it to right field does not mean you're automatically safe. If you hit it too hard, they will try to beeline you out at first. Luckily, Robinson was fast enough to beat that one out for a base hit.
Yeah, here's a look at it on the replay, and she was making good contact throughout that at-bat. Both of the first two batters for Hastings have been making contact, and yeah, you're right. I mean, that just goes to show in almost anything, not just sports, but, effort pays off. Don't want to be jogging to first.
Ball outside to the number 3 hitter, none other than number 18, Haley Strain. Goes to second for one, and that's all they're going to get on the 1-4 putout. Anthony to Kirchhoff. It'll be a fielder's choice, so Haley Strain will not get a hit there. And we're going to get a courtesy runner here for Haley. The pitcher and catcher usually get a courtesy runner if the coach would like. Looks like that's number 5, Lila Gessner, out there to run for Strain.
Well, she certainly looks fast, so we'll see if that pays off. I mean, obviously, worst case scenario avoided there. Double play would have obviously ended the inning.
Absolutely. Next up for the Raiders, number 17, first baseman Claire Rader. Claire, left-handed hitter. Always a challenge for fielders and pitchers and catchers too, because it's hard to see a runner on first if they steal. Nice pitch outside corner, strike one.
Well, we'll see if Gessner maybe has a green light, just knowing it's a left-handed batter, like you're saying.
I would think. Especially with the pinch, like the free runner you get, why not put your fastest runner in there and see if she can steal a base? There's a foul ball, head to the truck, cars again, this one. Oh, it's off the Red Wing Plumbing and Heating van. Good thing it hit the window, left a little dent there though. If I was there, I'd be moving my car right now if I saw those two foul balls.
They're definitely...
On Raider, the pitch, there's a fly ball to center field. That's way back, it is! Off the fence, here comes Gissner around third. They're going to wave her home, and the Raiders are on the board on the double by Raider off the bottom of the fence on the 0-2 count, Owen.
Well, that is clutch right there, and that's the benefit of having the pinch runner. I mean, maybe Strain would have still made it, but you get your fastest player out there, and you take an early lead against a very good North St. Paul team. Here we'll take another look at the double there from Raider. Just perfect launch angle. I mean, I thought that maybe could have had a chance if it wasn't so windy.
I was standing. Next, there's a wild pitch, and that is going to allow Raider to advance to third. It's Addie Selesky at the plate. Number 11, the center fielder.
Yep, runner on third now.
And that would be quite fitting, too, because Anthony has 2 home runs, the only 2 home runs of the season for North St. Paul as well, so she's very familiar with home runs.
Yeah, with an 0-2 count, I think her pitch was a little too good. That one hits the knees for strike one. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
And now things get a little interesting, too, if there's a passed ball. I know it's not a ton of space.
Ooh, that one low at the knees, too. Selesky didn't like it. The Raiders better know he's calling a low strike zone. Oh, and a lot of times a coach will tell you move up in the box if the umpire's calling them a little low. Hopefully head coach Carlson's seeing that and she's letting him know. That one's high and outside, ball 2. Counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, and you're absolutely right. Any pass ball here, wild pitch, that runner should be having that momentum and hustling home. Because the backstop, it's not too shallow, but it's deep enough to get home for sure.
If it's a slow pitch and doesn't bounce too hard, it would be interesting.
There's a foul ball staying alive. Selesky, and I will say, as a former baseball softball player myself, it is not fun hitting in cold weather like this, especially if you get it off the end of the bat or right at the handles. Those fingers start to sting and vibrate. Not good.
Oh, I'm sure that RBI double probably stung for Raider.
I think when you hit it in the sweet spot, though, then you're okay. 2-2 count from Anthony. That one's a little blooper to short. The wind's going to hold it in, and we'll have an F6 putout, but not before the Raiders put up a run on the RBI double by Claire Raider to go up 1-0 after 1 complete inning. Raiders 1, Polars 0.
Yeah, just about as good of a start as you realistically could have against a solid North St. Paul team. I mean, I don't prognosticate for you here that 1 run is going to be what gets you the win here. I think we're going to be in for some more scoring here, but that's obviously a tremendous start for Hastings. I mean, they looked good pitching. They certainly looked good fielding, and the batting obviously is self-evident there as the scoreboard would show you.
Absolutely. One thing about softball I do like, Owen, it is quick. In between innings, it's quick. Even though I played baseball, it gets a little slow sometimes, you know what I mean?
That's a pretty common complaint I hear about baseball. Yeah, softball, you gotta love 7 innings. It's quick. People got places to be. People got games to be played. You know, you gotta appreciate the solid pace of play.
Just a little pitch count action there. Haley had 14 pitches first inning. Anthony had 18. Gessner. Next up for the Polars, number 13, Gabriela Martinez. First pitch low, ball 1. Martinez just getting set in the box here. Haley Strain, left-handed pitching. There's a short one in front of the plate. It's going to bounce foul. It's not foul until they touch it. Now it's foul. You never know. You might have that weird spin back. Seen it a few times in baseball and softball.
Yeah, it's always interesting trying to. I mean, that one probably would have been fairly cut and dry, but it's always interesting trying to dance that foul line there.
Especially with a little wind, though. Sometimes that wind, little push, hits a rock. You never know. Pitch from Haley down low. Called a ball. Count is 2 balls, 1 strike. Once again, our umpires, Mr. Jerry Johnson behind the plate. I always watch. I'm a former umpire myself, so I always watch, make sure they don't call anything until that's touched. These guys are pros, though. They've been doing this a bit. That one's there, right at the numbers for a strike. Count is even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Don't think you can see the... Oh, you can. Pitch count and home. Our boy, Mr. Hunter Pickey, trying to do the best he can. There's a ground ball to short. Oh, it's bobbled. And they are no throw. They're not going to get her. That's going to be an error on the Raiders against Robinson.
Yeah, probably smart to not throw it there. It wasn't going to get there in time, and you only risk getting a passed ball and turning that into essentially a double. But the Polars, they're making solid contact, and the Raiders, that's the second time here in the first 2 innings where they've had trouble fielding a hard chopper.
That first pitch, a strike in there on number 19, Elizabeth Zakarzuski. There we go. Had to ask a couple players before the game, make sure I get that one right. She stands tall in the right side of the box, swinging a foul ball.
Yeah, well, anytime you get those Polish names in there, it's certainly interesting. See if the Polars can't capitalize with a run around and no outs here.
There's a foul ball behind the first base dugout. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just want to give a shout out to Mr. Tori Seltner for doing the manual scoring for us today. Ball, strikes, innings, and runs. I almost gave credit. Well, I did give credit to Mr. Hunter Pickey, so let me take that back. He's just the foreman, the boss, the dictator. There's a ground ball fouled off.
I mean, all praise eventually finds its way back to Hunter if you go far back enough.
Yeah,
but
he'll probably put up some credits that we have to say his name twice after this game. Right?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe
we all get 1 call. He gets 2 shout-outs. You gotta like it. Smart guy though, first and last too.
You should get 2 for being a statistician.
1's good enough for me. There is ball low, so count as 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, we appreciate it. It makes such a big difference to the broadcast, especially when the scoreboard doesn't have it. It's such a nice quality of life thing for viewers at home.
That one's high. That's strike 3. Struck her out looking, her second strikeout of the game. So 5 pitches to both the first 2 batters. 1 on base, 1 with a strikeout. Brings up number 6, Charlie Abernathy, the right fielder, bats left-handed. Ooh, that one's just inside. Look good from here, but we can't quite tell the inside-outside because we're not directly behind the plate. Unlike a pretty good crowd here tonight. You look back there, there's a good shot.
Good shot of our camera operator up there in the deer stand.
That one's a little inside as well. Count is 2-0.
Really braving the wind chill up there. It's interesting to be up there. We used to call games from up there.
There it is. Yep, you got to be careful of some foul balls here. There's a swing and a miss, strike one. Haley throws a lot of pop speed. I wish we had the old radar gun. Might have to ask one of these parents, let's get the gun out. Let's clock her one day. Both pitchers throwing some pretty good heat, actually, Owen.
Oh, yeah, two fireballers for sure.
Runner goes. It's fouled off. Strike two. I did not hear any, I don't know about you, did you hear any Raider girls or anybody yell going? I'm going to have to go talk to them about that.
Can't say I did.
If you're usually when you're in the dugout, somebody has a job. All they're doing is watching that runner, and as soon as she steals, they're supposed to be yelling "going." Especially with that left-handed hitter that's blocking out McCoy's view. Looks like I'm going to have to help McCoy. That one's high, swing and a miss, and they got her. Strike two. Little foul tip there. Looks like McCoy hung on to it though. Hey, once again, 5 pitches to that batter, so 15 so far this inning. Next up for the Polars, left fielder number 2, Cecilia Garacki. We are on YouTube and HCTV today. Holy, high ball one. If I am mispronouncing any names or we say anything we shouldn't, feel free to throw some comments. We'll do our best to try to check them out and make the update on air live.
Sometimes you get the most useful bits of information in those comment sections.
Yeah, just got to make sure we sometimes got to fact check those, certain things we can guarantee are probably pretty accurate. Sometimes, though, you get some oddball ones.
Well, we're like Jim Nance. If you tell us to read something, we're going to read it.
Jim Nance, a tradition like any other. That one's in their outside corner for a Steve Reich. Count goes to, looks like it's going to be 2 balls, 1 strike. If you're Mr. Torrey, he can always just listen to the umpire, watch his fingers, and adjust as needed. And there's a late swing and a miss, strike 2. Well, that's the 4th pitch, Owen. So if this inning means anything, this should be the last pitch to this batter because she's literally pitched 5 pitches to every batter so far. Let's see if she can get another strikeout here in the inning with 3 Ks. Oh, it's called high. Throw is a little late, and it's a stolen base for Martinez. I thought that one was pretty close, but it could have been inside-outside.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's easy for us to see the height, but to see if it's to either side, it's difficult from this angle. I'll defer to the ump there, but
absolutely
unfortunate we couldn't get another 5.
Full count payoff pitch, fouled off the post. Kind of like the old hockey hitting the old crossbar. Sometimes I got to check that ball out for a little scuff, but high school sports don't care too much. Major leagues, they'd be chucking that one in for sure. Once again, the payoff pitch, called strike 3. She got her looking. That is a snapper, most quite
attended.
large. I like it. Well, like we said, it was youth night. It's the first home game that HCTV is doing.
I think that's the headliner right there.
Yeah, that must be the old Hunter. Oh, Hunter Pinky's team. Oh, they're in town. Let's go, because they ain't here to see me. Now, what they could be here, I will have to give a little shout out here. My dad played fast pitch softball, like I said earlier, for like 50 years, no lie. And 2 of those gentlemen over there coaching, the man in the white, Tommy Thole, the head coach, and Charlie Rambo sitting on the end in black, played with my dad. 2 of the best fast pitch players I've ever seen in my life. Tommy played short, Charlie played right, or he played left. No kidding, a fly ball to left. He threw a guy out at first trying to tag up, running back to the base. He has got a cannon. Anyways, back to the Raiders softball. It's Lauren Meyer at the plate, number 2 left fielder. Not sure my dad's listened, but he probably heard the 2 guys he played with. A little shout out to him. Ooh, that one's high, ball 2. So Meyer up early. Speaking of pitch count, Anthony had 18 pitches that first inning. A little higher than she normally does, I would assume anyways. That's low, ball 3.
Well, she's been a menace this year through 21 innings coming into.
With the catch for 1. With the catch for 1 out. That looked good off the bat again. I think she just missed. I will never complain when a batter hits it that hard.
No, that was solid contact. I mean, probably as solid as the Raider RBI double, but I mean that was a great. Bernie hardly had to move at all. Just so well positioned there in the outfield, made it look easy.
Oh, holy Rachel Notch with a line shot to first, and it's caught by Zakraszewski.
Well, talk about good position. She didn't even have to move her body on that one, just right into the glove. I mean, it's good if you're North St. Paul, but you got to be a little reassured if you're Hastings. You are making solid contact against Anthony here.
I 100% agree. You're right. Next up, the designated player, number 7, Ella Carlson, swinging early. High fly down the left field line, and I just watched the umpire. He calls foul ball, so it's no catch, but it's a strike.
I mean, certainly as we approach, going back around the lineup a second time, I mean, they got to feel really good if you're these Hastings batters.
Absolutely. That one's high, ball 1. Carlson here in the 8th spot, sorry. Pitch on the way. There's a rip up the middle. I don't know if did that get a piece of, I couldn't tell if Anthony got a tick of the glove on that. That one was dangerous, and now you see why they wear face masks there. In softball, those balls come quick.
Oh yeah, and they're hefty too, and you're so close to home plate there. What a great hit there for Hastings. And I mean, imagine if that outfield fly, if it drops a little, I mean, that could have been a run right there.
Next up for the Raiders, right fielder, number 8, Lauren Mall. That one's high, ball 1. Oh, and you're right, they are hitting Anthony a little better than I thought they would. This Hastings team, though, we like to play some ball out here, right? Whether it's in school or in the summer out in the backyard. That one's in there for a strike. A lot more open area country here than your neck of the woods.
No, that's for certain. Certainly out here by the water tower it is.
Pitch on the way. Little rise ball fouled off. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mall. Runner on base. That's Carlson with the base hit.
And it's interesting, too, the Polars have only used 2 pitchers this season, and the only other pitcher they've used, albeit it's only 5 innings, but a 7 ERA as well. So Anthony really the ace.
Anthony trying to hit the inside corner. Not called by home plate umpire Johnson. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. You could, I don't know if you saw that. If you watched Anthony right before she pitched, she took her hand. You could tell she was going to do a little something with that. She tried a rise ball there. As a batter, you always want to be watching pitchers, whether it's baseball or softball. Any small thing you can get from them. There it is, ground ball, second base, fielded clean by Kershaw. Over to Zakraszewski for out number 3 on the 4-3 putout. So 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, no errors. After 2 complete innings, Hastings 1, Polar 0. So that's 3 outs, 2 innings done. Owen, thoughts on the game so far?
No, just a really fun game all around. Hastings really making contact, so I'm excited to see the second go around the lineup here, and they got an early lead, and they're sticking to it here through the first 2.
16 pitches there for Notch. That gives her total of 34. She's actually 3 less than Haley. But the Raiders do have the 1-0 lead, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. There's a nice throw down to second on the 1-hopper. I always love playing catcher. It's always fun to just try to get that BB right down there in that little spot so the player don't have to move. Starting the 3rd inning here, Owen, it's the catcher, number 7, Jaylee Steiner. The number 9 hitter. Steiner Strainer leads the team with batting average of .571 according to the hub. And she takes that one for a strike at the knees.
I probably wouldn't have her batting number 9 if I knew that.
Sometimes though in softball you got there's a concept, the bottom of your order, if they're good too, then it gets you right back to the top. So there is sometimes there's some planning there. She swings and foul tips that one. Plus, if you're the pitcher and you don't know that, you might be thinking, oh, it's the 9-hitter. I can throw I don't have to try to pitch as good as I would normally, and then she crushes a home run off you. So you never know, right?
Well, I mean, I trust the North St. Paul coaches to know better than me. That's for certain.
Low ball 1.
Got some planes in the sky here. We're lucky we don't have that paraglider from a couple of months ago out here.
Holy! Haley tried the old rise ball there. I don't know if you heard that noise. She caught. Sometimes when you pitch it, you hit your hip a little bit, and then it causes everything to go awry. So that was definitely a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Haley Strain with the pitch on the way. There's a fly ball. Rambo using his right foot like a soccer player there. A great stop. Rambo, the first base coach.
Yeah, not the first time he's done that. I'd imagine that would not feel so fun if you hit that inside of your heel bone or your ankle bone on that.
That one's high for a ball. The count is now full. Let's see if Notch over there remembers that she hit it at her last time. That one's high, ball 1. A lot of times you'll get a lot of action on the right side of the field when a pitcher pitches so quick because the batters are a little late on the swing. So there is no weak spot, right? You know, in baseball sometimes, throw them in right field. Not in hit softball. At the knee, strike 2.
Well, certainly even right field, like you're saying, like we saw earlier, nearly throwing out the runner at first.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count from Strain. That's high. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order here, North St. Paul down 1. Top of the 3rd. Ooh, outside, ball 3, full count. I did mention I was going to give a baseball update. I forgot to do that. I'm going to do it right now. Matamida is up 3-0 into the bottom of the 1st. Might be into the 2nd now, but Matamida put up 3 in the 1st. There's a ground ball, shallow one. Notch again, fields it clean, flips it underhand to Rader for out number 2.
Yeah, just a great night fielding so far for Notch. And like you were saying, you know, you pitch that fast, can get a lot of action on that right side. That's probably the side you want it too, because even if Notch bobbled it like she did in the 1st inning, you know, there's still time. If you bobble it at 3rd or even short, you know, it gets a little hairy trying to make that throw.
Next up for the Polar center fielder, Leah Burnley. She reached her first at bat with that beautiful bunt she did down the 3rd base line, which I gave a hit to, and I think it was. Where's number 4? That one's low, ball 2. Number 4, a classic number. It's my mom's favorite number, probably one of Hunter's favorite numbers too, because Mr. Brett Favre wore that number for the Packers. Now he's not a Brett Favre fan. He's won him 1 Super Bowl, and he's not even a fan. Probably because he wore purple. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1.
I mean, it was only 16 years ago.
Was it that long ago? No.
It's 2009. Well, 15 and a half, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. When he
they
had
defected.
that magical, the best statistical year of his entire career too. There's the bunt attempt, and it's fouled off. Strike 2.
People forget that. That is true.
Yep, people do forget that. I think he actually threw his 500 touchdown or something to like Randy Moss or something. He had something like that. And he threw the one to Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, I believe, across the middle at the old Metrodome, I think. Oh, watch out, dog! Oh, the dog's going to get a free ball. Look at that. Bring your dog out to the park, and he gets a ball. And I guess Mom said, nope, you're not having that. It's too big for you. So the little Eusters get a ball.
Wow, that dog nearly took a fly ball to the chops.
It did. It's a good thing it didn't. Holy high there. She tried that rise again, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, Owen, your car's not safe parked there. You're not even safe walking out here.
No, you got to keep your head on a swivel.
3-2 the count to Burnley. 2 outs, top of the third. Foul tipped off the glove of McCoy. Burnley just getting a piece of that one, staying alive. McCoy looks into the dugout for the pitch. Let's see what Haley Strain does here. I'm predicting fastball outside corner. McCoy shifts a little left, and it's low, ball 4. First walk issued by Haley there.
I was gonna say, yeah, I didn't want to jinx it, but yeah, she's had very.
You thought about it.
Even though she had some wild pitches, her control from an at-bat perspective has been on point.
Next up, it's Quinn Kirchhoff, second baseman. She struck out swinging her first at bat. There's a ground ball. Rambo, ooh, this time he under his legs. Good thing that didn't take a high hop. If you know what I mean, on.
No, I know what you mean.
Sometimes you never know over there.
Well, he definitely thought twice about it after the first encounter.
He is standing in the sun, though. You got a little bit of sun. I'm about to lose it here with this dugout. There's a changeup. Ground ball up the middle. Off Strain's glove. I'm not sure they're going to have a play. Try to get her at 1. It's late. Might have to call that an error, I think. Was it hard hit? You think that was a routine play? Yeah, we're going to call that a hit.
We'll be
generous.
generous.
Like a pitcher, it's not easy.
That's tough, and now it's really tough because now you get Anthony here at the plate, and she's been the best hitter for North St. Paul here this year. 2 home runs.
Okay. I have her coming in at .533, third on the average chart, but the home runs are key. Oh, and she's first pitch swinging to Notch, fields it, throws to first for the 4-3 putout. Polars with 2 runners on base, but Hastings gets out of the jam after 2.5. North St. Paul 1, the Raiders 0. Oh, and we're going to take a little beat. Yeah, say all that. Welcome back to Hastings Raiders softball. We're in the bottom of the third. Raiders up 1-0. Leading off for the Raiders, number 10, the leadoff hitter, Sienna McCoy. She grounded out. No, she's lined out to second base, her first at bat. She takes that one high for a ball. Counts 2-0. Takes a look at her little wristband there. They got all the plays there if they want her to see up. I was going to say bunt maybe. She's more like she's pulling back and swinging. That's what I thought. Oh, she brings it back. That's high.
Well, still good plate vision there.
Let's see if she does it again. A lot of times they do it just to try to throw the pitcher off on the strike zone. Doesn't do it this time. That's in there for a strike. Count is 3 balls, 1 strike. Thank you, Mr. Blue. She's swinging a high fly ball. Left side in foul territory. It is foul ball, not caught. Once again, we're screened out by the dugout, so all we got left to do is either watch the umpire or listen for the crowd to cheer maybe if they caught it, whatnot.
Yeah, you could sort of tell from the angle that it was probably going to veer a little too far, but yeah, that is our one blind spot here.
So full count pitch on the way. It's high, ball 4. So McCoy draws a 6-pitch walk. Brings up number 14, Leighton Robinson. She grounded out No, she got a base hit her first at bat. Yeah, she hit it right between first and second. Kind of had that seeing eye or whatever they like to say. All right, Raiders, nobody out. McCoy on first. Let's see if they do any sort of hit and run, a steal. Bad thing about it is Robinson's a right-handed hitter, so Steiner's going to have a clear shot of that runner if she goes.
That's true. Maybe you might want to test her arm.
Here's the bunt. Oh, she tries to push at it. She fouls it off. So when you have children, Owen, if you do, and they play sports, try to get them to bat left-handed. Do everything lefty. Get to first base quicker. Some advantages. A lot of times the right field's shorter than left. I don't know why they always did that.
I'm going to get them to be a switch pitcher.
I like it. Oh, there's a bunt. Puts down right to the pitcher. That's going to be good enough. Oh, and throw it away. That's going to be air on the pitcher. And McCoy's going to advance to third on the throw. So it'll be an E1 to get Robinson on first and for McCoy to advance to third if you're doing book at home. So first and third, Haley Strain at the plate. Not what you want to see if they're the Polars. One, Strain such a great hitter. Now you got first and third. There might be a steal or a hit and run right here, a steal.
Even a double play in the field would still score a run. That's the advantage of even having this on the corners with no outs.
Yeah, quite true. Let's see what we do here on the first pitch. It's a changeup, and she's going to slowly jog to second. A lot of times you see that they just give her second base because sometimes they throw it down there and that runner scores, and it's like, why'd you throw it?
Yep, if ever you have runners on the corner and there's not, maybe if there's two outs, maybe you think twice about it, but you always want to take that free base because then it puts them in such a pickle, like you're saying, throwing back home.
Good job by Haley, too, not even swinging at that. That's why if I'm a pitcher there, I'm throwing a strike, knowing that that hitter's probably not swinging, but there's a foul ball. Heads up, Cars. It's going to be, a little bounce off the Silverado. No dent, though. Caught the grass before it. If you own the Silverado, I'd move it.
Oh, we even had a foul ball cam there.
I like it, the old foul ball cam. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to like the little youth fans chasing the balls. There's a changeup outside. It's at 3-1 now. I don't know if you could tell that was a changeup or not, Owen. As soon as she released it, you can see probably how slow. And a lot of times they'll slow their swing down, and they don't want to do that. You got to keep the same motion. Otherwise, it's a dead giveaway. Haley Strain rips one down left field. It's going to be foul. That dog's got it in its mouth. So we run out of balls, and we got some back now, as it's a full count now. Pitcher against pitcher. I always love watching the old PvP, pitcher against pitcher matchup. Haley won the first battle with a base hit. Let's see. Oh, she gets one, nubs it down to the inside. She stops at first, and no runner's able to score there. Good job by first baseman charging. So that's a 3-U put out.
Yeah, McCoy was smart. She didn't even get much of a lead on that one, just knowing they were hawking home plate.
Can't do much there. All right, Claire Rader up to bat. She had a double her first at bat. There's a changeup. Ground ball in between first and second. 1 run is going to score. They're going to wave in the second. No throw, and the Raiders score 2 on the single by Rader as she gets 2 RBIs. Raiders up 3-0. First pitch swinging. I love it.
I mean, she's swinging at watermelons out there. I mean, the vision is just on point. 3 RBIs, like you said. I mean, certainly the offensive MVP in this one thus far.
Absolutely. All right, Addie Selesky at the plate, number 11, center fielder. She flew out to shortstop her last at bat. Takes high ball 1.
Selesky, obviously a hockey player, following the trend of many multi-sport athletes here for Hastings Athletics.
There's a rip down the left side past the third baseman. That's going to be considered a hit. That was a hard hit ball, Owen. just off the glove of Mishler. So Raiders first and second, another runner in scoring position, just one out still. They've already plated 2 this inning. They're up 3-0, bottom of the third. Brings up Lauren Meyer, number 2 left fielder. She line drove out, I don't know if that's a word, out to center field last time. Remember, it was hard hit. That one's inside, ball 1.
Yeah, the middle of the lineup here for Hastings has just been raking here against Anthony.
Like raking in the cash at the casino? Is that raking it in? I like it, Haas. Just got to stand up and try to get a little movement here. Getting too chilly sitting down. There's a base hit to right field again. That's through to right field. They are going to send her home. And no throw, and they try to backdoor at second. She's under it, safe. So Raiders scores. Selesky to second. Meyer with the hit.
And I don't know if it was just the angle, but they might have had her if they threw home. They didn't really consider that a possibility.
I would have done it too if you're right.
I mean, maybe she was too fast. Maybe she still would have scored, but
possibly. But that's where if that's where you want to catch her, you either got to yell cut or cut 4. Pitch to Notch inside, ball 1.
And now if you're Hastings here, I mean, you're really trying to go all in, trying to get these. I don't want to call them insurance runs this early, but
well, sometimes when you have a pitcher like Haley Strain, that one's called a strike high at the letters. You're right though, right? Pitcher like Haley, you only need is 1 or 2 runs. Looks like we got some action going to the bullpen for the Polars. I can't see the number 17 is going to go catch. I can't see who's pitching though.
Well, the only other pitcher they've used is Huberty, so I would believe that's her, but I obviously can't verify. I didn't see.
Yep, you might be right then. That one was high for a ball. Count as 2 balls, 1 strike. Raiders already put 3 up this inning. Swinging a miss. She was swinging a high and a late steal. She goes to third. Great heads-up play by Selesky. Sometimes the infielders kind of lose track of that runner there at third. Count should be 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still 1 out. There it is. Meyer had an RBI at her last at bat. I need to let you know. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Notch. Anthony to pitch. Oh, up the middle, base hit. Another run's going to score. Meyer's going to head to third. Raiders swap places. Once again, they got runners at the corners. And an RBI single for Rachel Notch. Rachel Notch, also a multi-sport athlete. I believe she plays a little b-ball. She might even play volleyball.
I'd like to believe that translates to softball. Maybe I'm looking into that too much. But yeah, here's another look at that RBI hit there from Notch, and they are really sensing blood in the water here. If you're North St. Paul, obviously Anthony's a great pitcher, but we saw them sending out a pitcher to warm up. You got to wonder how soon they can get that pitcher warmed up here.
There's a swing and a miss on the changeup, and Notch will head to second. No throw.
It was kind of funny watching her run to second because she was a little uncertain about.
No, so that's intentional. They want to go slow. They're trying to get you to throw it down there.
Oh, really?
They're doing that on purpose. Go slow, see if you'll throw it, and then you can always stop and go back and let your runner from third score. There's another changeup, and she's ahead of that one as well. So Carlson down quickly, 0-2. You're right about the Raiders hitting. Top, middle, and bottom lineup. They are all stroking this ball against a really good pitcher.
I mean, I can't overstate how impressive this performance is by these Hastings batters.
Oh, and she goes high with the rise ball. She fouls it off. Count still 0-2. Raiders 5 runs this inning. Anthony, the 0-2 pitch. Oh, somehow that was way high. Carlson got a piece of that. She looked like she was swatting flies out there, but she stays alive. She gets a little chuckle of that afterwards. Her teammates are giving her a little something there.
Well, and how about this? Anthony, through her first 3 games, only 5 runs allowed, and obviously tonight 5 runs.
In this one inning. That one's high, and she gets her to swing at that. I feel like Carlson, whatever it was, she was swinging either way.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you want to get in on the action. You know, everybody's getting a hit, and you want to join everybody, but probably would have been a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty high on the replay. Maybe it gives Anthony the confidence to close out the inning here.
Brings up the number 9 hitter, Lauren Mall, grounded out to second her first at bat. A little late on that swing. It was inside. Good thing that didn't hit her hands or wrist. That would have hurt. And that was just the first strikeout for Anthony with such a good pitcher. And I think that just goes to show you how well these Raiders hit the ball. That one she looks at strike 2 right down the pipe.
I mean, she was averaging like 1.25 strikeouts per inning coming into tonight's start.
0-2 pitch. Oh, it's a high pop fly. It's in the foul territory, and it's going to go on top of the dugout. That wind just carried that sucker. A lot of wind out here. You can see the flag out there blowing. Actually looks like right to left, but that foul ball went that way, so I don't know.
I think a tornado out here.
It's almost like we're at the Augusta National on hole 12, Amen corner. There's a shot of your U.S. flag. Gotta love that. And there's going to be a pass ball, and another run's going to come home and score. And she barely hit the back of the plate there. She better be a little more careful when she touches home. Make sure she hits it. So Notch scores. That was a ball. She'll score on the wild pitch. Getting a little more windy out here. There's a little looper, and second baseman makes the catch, Kirchhoff, but not before the Raiders put up 6 more runs in the third to make the total score 7-0.
Yeah, I've certainly a pivotal half inning here for Hastings. I mean, unless we get a major comeback here in the you know, last half of the game, I mean, I think you're going to look back on this inning.
This girl just came in. Yeah. Who's doing the scoreboard up there? Well, then I have 6 runs. I better go. Who's got it? Oh, I know. Yeah, sorry. Because I don't want to be. Oh, hang on. I don't want to be off.
Obviously vital that Hastings picks up a win here. They have their first 5 games of the season. 4 of them are home games, and then after their next game, they're going to have 4 of 5 on the road. Obviously, Hastings had some pretty good road success earlier in the season. For that 15-1 victory over Matamidi was on the road. Obviously, 2-game losing streak coming into this one as we start the top of the 4th here. Haley Strain, still the pitcher. Don't have the exact pitch count, something that Peter has, but fairly high pitch count through 3, but nothing too concerning. At bat here for the Polars, Gabrielle Martinez, who got on base earlier in the game, had a stolen base as well. Pitch down in the dirt there for Strain.
Oh, and just a little scoring up there. That was my mistake. That was Meyer that came in on that pass ball and not Notch. So Raiders only scored 5 total that inning, so the total is 6-0 Raiders. Oh, there's a shot to right field. That one's deep. It is back. Oh, what a catch! Over the top of her head, Lauren Mall makes a little Willie Mays snag out there, out in right field.
And that really invigorated the crowd here, the massive crowd here. We'll get another look at the replay here. And that's a lot harder than it looks with that wind kind of shifting that ball towards the foul line there. I mean, it's to track that down, going backwards as well. Yeah, like you said, Willie Mays-esque, because that is a tricky defensive play there.
There's a swing and a miss by the first baseman, Elizabeth Zakarczewski. There's a shot, another line drive. This time it's called by Notch. An F4. They're hitting it well right now, Owen. They're just hitting it right to the Raiders.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say it's a little concerning. They're starting to make a little more contact, but you know, the Hastings hasn't had to pay the piper yet. We'll get another look at the replay here. You know, Raider has been the offensive MVP, but for my money, Rachel Notch, I mean, how many putouts has she had? I mean, she's getting at least 1 or 2 every inning, it feels like. I mean, she's had a great game.
Next up, it's number 6, Charlie Abernathy, right fielder. She struck out swinging her first at bat. You know, I could probably tell you how many putouts Miss Rachel Notch had. Exactly. She's had 5, just so you know.
5 great plays. Defensive MVP for my money.
Amen. Strain quickly up 0-2 on the count to Abernathy. Top of the 4th. Raiders up 6-0 against the North St. Paul Polars. Chilly day out here, too. I should have got the temp when we started. And strike 3. Got her looking at the knees. Another strikeout for Haley Strain. 1-2-3 inning. No hits, no runs, no errors. Nobody left on base. 3.5. North St. Paul 0. Raiders 6.
Just the way the Raiders like it. We'll get another look at the replay here. Yeah, just right down the middle there for Haley Strain. Good on her powering through, you know, the Polars making some contact. Obviously, great fielding will help a pitcher, of course, but...
Speaking of pitching, a lot better pitching there for Haley. Just 9 pitches, so she's up to 59 total. See if I can give you a pitch count for Miss Anthony. Looks like she's still out there.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the pitch count was a little bit of a concern because it was a little high for Strain, but you have a 9-pitch inning. I mean, boy, that really puts you back on track.
Yeah, sure does.
They're telling me it's 54 degrees outside. I'm not so certain.
Well, we're in the shade, so it's probably more like 48 for us, right?
Looks like we got a furry friend out there in just past the outfield wall. Hopefully they're keeping their head on a swivel as well as this inning starts.
Yeah. Never know here. Might be a shot. Looks like we're going to have a change here. Let's see if we can hear what Coach Tommy Stoll says.
Yeah, there's the dog. Got some bleacher creatures